Because both of our mugs are way too ugly to be a spokesperson.
What?
Here.
There is enough stuff for us to talk about other than COVID-19.
I think a fly just went in my drink. Yeah.
Protein, dude.
Little that.
Protein. Jeez, if you can't get it out, sip it out.
Yeah, that'd be good. You can't see that.
Yeah. So there's other stuff. There's other stuff going on other than COVID-19 right now.
Really?
The world's kind of
the world's still a place? I swore there was zombies outside and nobody goes outside anymore.
As American as we are, we totally forgot about the rest of the world and just started focusing on us again.
Or focusing on the news, maybe. Or
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, but a lot's going on.
We deserve attention too. Okay.
Everybody deserves attention.
America deserves attention.
Yeah. So we have plenty to talk about. If it can get talked about, I don't know. If we can actually communicate properly. Who knows? That's why this is 2 cents of nonsense, where you get all your nonsense and the nonsense of our 2 cents. Heavy sigh. Heavy sigh.
It's all nonsense. All of it.
Yeah, that's kind of our bag, baby. So everybody's heard in the news about George Floyd.
Oh, are you talking about riots?
I'm totally talking about riots.
Yeah.
So
there's a revolution of some kind out there. I don't know what happened.
So there was a guy who was detained for allegedly writing counterfeit checks or committing some type of fraud.
Check fraud. Yeah, let's just call it scam.
I think it was check fraud.
He was out there scamming somebody.
He was allegedly accused of it. Whether it's true or not, it really doesn't matter right now. But needless to say, the cops handled it fairly poorly and ended up killing the guy.
The LEOs killed a guy?
I mean,
before they found out he was guilty? Did he pull a knife on them?
I'm not sure what the video was. When the video was taking place, the guy recording it said, "You shouldn't resist no more," along those lines. He might not have said you shouldn't resist no more, but he said, "You're not going to win. You just got to get in the car the right way," suggesting that he was kind of resisting getting in the vehicle. But still, 8 minutes with your knee pressed on a guy's main life source or main tunnels for his life source.
Man, you just punched somebody really good on the back of the neck, man. Just real good one time. That's all you need.
Yeah, really. I mean,
yeah.
Even my
real quick.
Yeah, even my dad was like, that cop needs to be hanged in the town square. And that's coming from my dad.
Yeah, your dad's not a guy that believes in that stuff.
Yeah, not at all. But he said he needs to be hung in the town square, and everybody needs to watch and throw tomatoes.
Yep.
But
So you're telling me this guy, he was getting forced into a police car, and he died.
well, it's not that simple. Because he died like, I think it's 8 minutes. They had him on the ground after.
So he wasn't getting in the car.
They already had him handcuffed and detained.
Mm-hmm.
A single officer did, as the video shows. They already had him handcuffed and detained, and another cop car showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I saw of that video. And he was calm, just sitting there. The handcuffs were apparently hurting him, which is understandable because they are not comfortable.
Look, it doesn't matter either way whether or not you're comfortable. It doesn't matter. If you fight the cops can't kill you. If you fight the cops and then pull a knife, the cops shouldn't kill you. Because the cops carry around fucking tasers. They carry it. If you have more than one cop there and more than one taser there, a dude with a knife should not be shot to death.
Yeah.
Because these cops are supposedly trained to be able to do something otherwise than kill. We spend our tax money on these cops to not kill us. Supposedly, that's why we pay our. That's why we pay our extortion fees, right? I mean, what taxes?
Yeah.
That's what, so they don't kill us, right? That's essentially what we're trying to do is not be killed if we fuck up. That's just ridiculous.
No, that is, and then the fact that they have impunity on top of it.
Yeah, but this happens every day, and I don't know what's special about this. What's special about this one? Why is it in the news? Because
it was filmed. That's why. Because
plenty of filmed ones that don't get off the ground. Did he know something? Did they kill him on purpose? What was going on here?
Just the way it was filmed, because most times cops, there'll be 30 cops on the scene and not just 4, and those 30 cops will disperse the people first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Only comes from a badge or like a body cam.
So right around where we grew up, 4 was used to be all that was going to show up. You know, max 4 would have been showing up. You know.
What do you mean?
Like,
with
we were kids? Yeah.
Well, nowadays they have to have one patrol car for every person in the vehicle.
Is that so?
On a traffic stop, at least in our state.
That's quite a bit of tax money right there. Logistically.
Have you heard of Jo Jorgensen?
No.
I think that's her name. I call her JoJo.
JoJo.
Call her JoJo.
JoJo's cool.
She is the new Libertarian nominee for president.
That doesn't make her cool.
you should research her. The more I learn about her, the cooler it gets.
Okay. Oh, wait a second. We don't hear anything about that in the news, do we?
No, and actually, she was recently banned from some social media platforms.
I'm liking her more and more. Oh yeah, I heard that Trump said that he was going to ban some stuff on social media, didn't he? Or we changed the subjects too quick.
Oh, no, social. I'm saddened.
John. You knew it was going to be a bright future. I told you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not saddened for us because we're prepared. Every time, every time, every time my wife says something to me, I'm like, yeah, I know.
Gotta wake it up.
I, I told you this like 3 months ago,
Uh,
6 months ago now.
we're doing cool stuff. We have plenty of cool stuff to do.
Yeah. So the social media thing, Trump signed an executive order today.
I
Right?
heard about this, and at that point, I just ignored it because I just don't even care anymore. It's not like the government didn't run those social media platforms in the first place anyway. No, don't make any mistakes. You know, this is nothing new. I've been, it's it's already been so far out of hand.
Yeah. And Trump had a post today that is just so ironic of how it happened.
Yeah.
So ironic of how it happened that Trump was like, he posted something about, he called the looters and stuff thugs and stuff like that.
The loser
Looters
looters. Oh, so wait. So there's
from the riots.
let me focus my brain power right quick to get back on track. The riots came from a dude who got killed by cops before they could get him in the car.
Mr. George Floyd.
They killed George Floyd?
Well, his name was George Floyd.
I thought he had headlines at his quotes. Did this guy have opinions?
They have recently shared some of his social media posts.
Oh.
Like they've recently come out with them.
And then all of a sudden, the government now is taking control of social media.
No, that wasn't. I don't think those two are necessarily correlated, other than we have a great distraction to go ahead and put this executive order in.
To enforce control over these corporations that they essentially were already, coercing in the first place.
Yeah. So basically, the executive order is Trump said that social medias can't be biased against Republicans.
What?
Yeah, pretty.
I'm biased against Republicans.
And Trump said that they don't have immunity to being sued anymore, which that's fine. There's
Wait,
always
wait. You're telling me that politicians can commit insider trading, right? But we can't have immunity from talking shit about them?
no. The social media platform can't be sued,
Oh,
so it can be sued now. Per the executive order.
essentially meaning we can't talk shit about them on those people's platforms. I feel like people are going to start jumping on Mastodon, and I'm out here to say don't jump on Mastodon. Don't do it. It's not secure whatsoever. The government's going to see more of what you do on there than they will on Facebook. Well, Facebook has cameras pointing at you all the time, though. I forgot about that. Well, the government will have cameras pointed at you somehow. I promise.
And his whole thing is he's saying that it's a monopoly, so it's got to be regulated. And we all know how that goes.
Since when were they a monopoly?
I guess since Trump says it's a monopoly.
So what if you get down into the weeds, what really does this executive order say? Because I remember executive orders of the past that were very detailed and had very, very strange chess moves in them, that didn't die when the problem went away. And they were really just safeguards for future problems. And when the problems didn't happen, they didn't die, right? But
Yeah.
the problems never stopped happening before. The same problems never stopped, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No. I don't know, dude.
Is there anything about this executive order that you saw that was strange? I'm pulling it up, man.
All of it is strange. Every single bit of it is strange.
Order.
What it's doing, if we can have another similarity to it, it would be like in the 1850s or the 1880s when they did the Monopoly Act.
Wait a second.
Like it's the digital version of the Monopoly Act.
I was actually waiting for this to happen. So this is actually a underhanded move.
Yes.
So what it is it's the executive order on preventing online censorship. The reason that it's worded that way, and they were going to do this for a while,
Which we know
corporations. So the corporations over in California, they were starting to be really good at filtering out a lot of online bias. Yeah. So the thing is that they don't filter out leftist bias at all. But they filter out rightist bias because of the scare of the right extremists. Now, there are extremists all across the spectrum.
Of course.
I've met and spoke with somebody pretty much all the way along the way.
People.
Yeah, you got full-on communists over here that want to pick up guns. You got anarchists over here hanging, probably over here on the spectrum.
They're buying the guns from the full-on communists.
Yeah, and you got anarchists that are buying guns from, the ANCAPs, the anarcho-capitalists.
Yeah.
And there's people all the way up everywhere, right? So all of that crazy stuff right there wasn't getting filtered whatsoever, especially if it gets more authoritarian. The more it seems that the internet likes it. And with internet, I mean big companies, mainly because of China, because China is so authoritarian, and everybody wants good business with China. So what's happened is that Twitter has hit a lot of right-wing views, a lot of conservative views, and a lot of, and don't get me wrong, some right-wing extremists should be knocked off the platform if there's dollars involved and if the company says they don't want to harbor extremists. But it's not fair, obviously. It's not being fairly.
Well, if it's a company, any company has the right to refuse service to anybody. They could kick anybody off of the server at any time with no question asked.
Yeah, it's their hard work, man.
Yeah.
Get
on my property.
So that's a thing. But the thing is that you'll realize is that a lot of the time, to be able to move the marker of what's normal, you have to have an extreme that is way further that direction.
Yeah, just so we've been talking about with Trump for
exactly. So like if you have somebody that believes, strongly conservative views, and that's the far right, that's the extreme that you're able to see, then the normal of what people are comfortable talking about or being, their place in society gets closer towards to counter off that close. And there's a word for it, I can't remember it.
Normalcy.
But yeah, essentially it's the game of society.
That's why conformity kills.
Yeah.
Look at the dodo. I bet you there were some conforming birds.
Yeah, man. They all walked right off. Probably lockstep.
I watched Ice Age. After that watermelon.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's
That's what it is.
what it totally is.
But
No.
yeah. But so what this is doing is it's kind of a counter move that goes way far the other direction to make it seem it just puts it back to normal.
It's like
But-
every other legislation that's been passed.
But it gives the government the right to force it to be normal.
It is the exact opposite of what
which
it's
they don't
called.
have the right to. Yeah, well, that's true, but that's
The
the thing.
exact opposite.
If they're moving it back to what we had as normal on the internet and giving them better, playing field to manipulate, because it's big money in manipulating social media and things like that with hundreds of bots or a bunch of people. There's actually click farms, what they're called, where humans actually have to have their own computer and they get paid like a couple cents here and there. Just look up click farms. It's hilarious. Usually it's in post-Soviet countries is where like the biggest business for that kind of thing is. But yeah, you'll find people sitting in little office buildings all next to each other just running a campaign. They'll have like 5 or 6 different accounts, different genuine accounts that they'll be running. But yeah, look it up. There's a great documentary on it. It does. It has a lot of tracked, and the thing is that there's so much manipulation online, and there's so much money that comes from even politicians just to vie for our attention. There's so much money in that. That's why there was a big deal about whether or not Trump had
ties with Russia and all that stuff.
Yeah, and of course he was paying people to help his click farm, and doing social engineering attacks, just like all the other politicians have been.
Yeah, I'm sure the click farm is probably what started the whole thing to make it look that way, and
the government is taking control of that and getting a monopoly on the metagame.
Yeah,
that is bad for us because now we have a authoritarian entity, controlling our normal.
Yeah, and that's what me and you've been talking about since day one of 2 cents of nonsense, and how that has happened throughout history since really right before Lincoln. Like that's what got the ball rolling, and
it's always a cycle, though. If you look in history, we can't outrun the cycle.
No, because the generations forget, but the paperwork does not.
That's right. And then revolution happens again. Always.
So if we'll see that revolution, I don't know.
It might be a couple hundred years.
It might be. But the woods are fantastic. The woods are great. I like the woods. But even with the woods, you have to have one of these thingies.
Yeah, right.
Right? You gotta look up your map. You gotta take your photos and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a company out now that's helping out.
Post it on the Instagram too. Don't forget.
Yes. And speaking of which, there is you can follow us on Twitter. On Twitter at 2 cents of nonsense for you or something like that, and Snapchat.
Google Plus?
It's Google Plus?
Yeah?
No.
Okay.
Do you think we're some kind of legitimate business? You got to talk to www.mymarketeers.com.
Yeah, that's a legitimate business right there.
They will help you get on Google and everything.
They That's where you get your merch right there. Your My Mark design. You get your merch.
So there's this company that's doing some things, and it's helping out with the new norm.
Okay.
Norm, where everybody knows your name. And I crack myself up sometimes.
I got a chuckle there.
So they're just normalizing a bunch of stuff, like through mainstream media, all media sources. Really, it's just all getting normalized. And really,
They're able to track it pretty good, I hear.
yeah. And I'm not even saying that the normalization is on purpose, because people just want to feel normal.
When the government steps in to control it, it is.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, even in anarchy, people just want to feel normal.
But that is a natural, organic process for societies to evolve and grow.
It is. And so I can't even blame like media sources for doing this or saying that it's biased or anything like that, because they're also people just trying to feel normal. But they're normalizing watching people pretty much.
Yeah.
And
they've been doing that ever since we were kids.
And that company is called Tectonics. And Tectonics,
you're talking about a specific company.
Yeah, this specific company, which there is many people getting into
There's companies that have been around doing this forever.
Yeah, and most of the time, these companies are companies that believe in privacy and things like that. But
like Palantir?
I don't know about that. Maybe y'all should look it up and comment down below what y'all think about it. I don't know about it, but this Tectonics company, and how long do you think they've been around?
I can get you a ballpark real quick.
Yeah, what's a ballpark of how long Tectonics has been around? Because they're getting really involved with, or at least the media, and I'm sure they're giving the information to like the health organizations and stuff like that.
Why is this saying it's only got 1 to 10 employees?
It really might, because it's basically just an app.
Who put them there? Who put these guys here? Where'd they get the money from?
Yeah. Well, we're not going to get into that now.
Who's the investment company?
If you have any idea, comment down below. And please don't say George Soros. Say somebody else.
The Koch brothers?
Oh, jeez. But this, there was a Ozark party, and evidently this is like an annual party or something like that, and hundreds of people show up to it. And it was all over the news this morning that I could see that the company Tectonics has figured out. Well, they haven't figured out. They've just been able to track all these cell phone signals from this one specific party. So they can
okay, so this is kind of my wheelhouse. I can do this. It's not that hard. If you have enough data points, you can do it. All you got to do is drive up and down the road, get on the internet, and get on a website, correlate where you're at, and then boom. Then all you have to do is put up a couple sensors, or at least just get a ping off at once, and it'll try to connect. Your phone will try to connect. It'll have MAC addresses that it always had. It'll have all that stuff, and it's not hard to correlate. Like, any person can do it. There's actually a program that was put out by some guy from Brazil about 2 years ago called Spooky, I think it's called. Go ahead and look that up. Look up Spooky tracking, or just Spooky. Put put spooky in there and then put GitHub. That'll probably help you find it. Let me see if I'm giving you the right information here.
But
I think
the thing about this company is,
or is it Snoopy? I think it might be Snoopy. Or is it Creepy? I think it's Creepy.
either way, this company, Tectonics, has access to track every single phone in the country.
So this is Creepy. That's what this one's called. Yes, there's enough location data that gets shared in advertisement data.
That's not the way they're looking at it, though.
I
understand that because you at least sign an agreement when you get onto those type of platforms that share your location data.
But this is using cell phone companies, if I'm not mistaken, to also help do that.
This is using the hotspot data.
Yeah.
Of being able to track
where you are, based on where all the other things are. Let me see if it's called Creepy. Yeah. No, Creepy is what they use to track you through your pictures. Maybe it's Snoopy. I think it's Snoopy.
But they were able to do this across the whole country. The news story was just about this Ozark party and how they could track these people that went to CVS or went to the gas station or went to Walmart right after the party. And then the health organization put out a thing and said, y'all need to quarantine yourselves for so many days, 14 days or whatever.
So Snoopy is also another one of the tools. This one is actually using hotspot data. Well, it's not hotspot data directly from the pipe, buying it or getting it directly from the internet companies off your phone. This is actually just correlating your location the same way by using your MAC address and all of the Wi-Fi that you were trying to reach out to. And it'll say everywhere that you had been. And then if you pick up new Wi-Fi spots on the way, then it'll do that. Yes, if you do have access to the device, you can do this through Facebook metadata, or you can get it, like you said, straight from the pipe from the internet companies. But I guess it isn't metadata anymore when it's advertising data, is it? It's, I guess, it's become weaponized at that point. But,
yeah, I think this is the first example we're seeing of the 5G capabilities of tracking.
Oh, that's another thing. 5G. So lately, 5G has been like this big concern, and yes, more tightly packed radio waves cause cancer at higher rates. All the doctors say so. It's probably only about like a 6% increase. Kind of like the death toll increase for coronavirus, if you include that with the flu.
Yeah,
it's something little like that. It's no big deal.
Pissing into the wind or pissing into the wind.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much the same as that's if my guess numbers are correct, but and they're probably not. But that aside, is the only reason that there's this huge push to push it out is because of all the advertising data, all that money they can get, because there's so many small towers tightly packed together that are then able to triangulate you much, much closer, to a very, very fine position. And all you have to do is have your little broadband. So your phone just has to be on, because its broadband chip is going to reach out to the cell phone company towers all the time with a heartbeat constantly. So if the phone is on, it'll do that. And you don't even know the phone's off when it's off. And let's just go ahead and I promise you that. That's proven. So that's the thing, is that this 5G is being pushed because they can pinpoint your location much better just by accessing a dashboard. And if we are familiar with companies like Palantir, um, who give law enforcement access to much more intimate details about your life than just your location, we know exactly how this is going to be used, and people are going to get paid. This is going to be an advertising honey hole too. So that's the thing. It's happening, and you know that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of the name of that malware though. It's an in-browser malware, and it came out of Brazil, and it pretty much gave you access to all this information.
If you think of it, we'll go ahead and put it down into the description. So just read the descriptions, I guess, if you want to. Whatever.
Yeah, some hacker out of Brazil made it. I played around with it for a little bit just to see, like, I opened up, read through the source code just to see like what it was doing, and the whole thing was strangely hooked into Google. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have it on one of my laptops somewhere. I can probably look it up.
So you guys go ahead and research for yourself.
Yeah.
Look up all this stuff. I mean,
I wish I could remember it though.
Things are changing. It's the new norm. So I don't know. Best of luck to you.
I'm gonna do a search real quick.
What you gonna do a search on?
Brazil DEFCON tracking browser. And I'm going to see if I can find out. Because I remember there was a talk on it I watched and everything. I thought it was really messed up that it was that easy to do.
So while you're doing that, we're gonna do
That's not pulling it up.
2 cents of adventure.
2 cents of adventure.
Yes. We're going to be doing a lot of camping stuff, a lot of survival things. And hopefully we're going to be able to film a lot of it and be able to put it out and maybe help y'all out a little bit. The farm, the garden's looking good. Got some lettuce that got taken up the other day because somebody thought it was weeds, but it was just lettuce.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's all good though. It's all good. Chickens are getting big, man. They're about self-sufficient now, besides having to feed and water them. And we're getting the pond put in. But I'm excited for 2 cents of adventure. So hopefully we'll be filming one of those tomorrow. That'd be very cool.
All right.
This has been 2 cents of nonsense, where we give you our nonsense, or we give you our 2 cents about a bunch of nonsense, or a bunch of nonsense about a bunch of 2 cents.
It's because it's all nonsense.
It's because it's all nonsense. We're out of here.
Bye-bye.
Check us out on Snapchat. 2 cents of adventure coming up. We bye too early. Bye. Cover your screen.